Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here today to bring to you the greatest show on the world. We have right here Devin.
Yeah.
We have Janine.
Hello.
We have Wyatt.
Woo.
And I am Philip. I lost it. Damn it. I was trying to.
You had it just as quick as you lost it. Amazing.
What I was trying to do is I knew what I was going to do at the beginning.
But you didn't know how you were going to close it.
I didn't know how I was going to close it off.
You could just end. Are you recording?
I could have, but you know what?
He tried.
I tried.
Voice acting is in your future in very small bits.
Yeah, very small.
He has to have a script.
I have to know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So anyways, where are you recording? And today we're talking about
Animu.
Animu.
Y'all reading the mangoes again?
Welcome everybody. Welcome back to Are You Recording. It's always a fun time to get the group together and talk about all of our fun nerdy stuff.
And once again, we are down a member.
Oh yes, we are down a member.
She is currently being sick.
Yeah,
She cut the green flu from Left 4 Dead.
And then Janine knew nothing about what we were talking about.
I assume it's bad.
The green flu in Left 4 Dead is basically what causes the end of the world.
Oh, so she's gonna be a zombie?
It turns everyone into zombies. Yeah, basically.
It's been a while.
What kind of special infected do you think Caitlin would be? Anyway, no. Off topic already.
We're off topic, and we're only, what, 2 minutes in?
Not even, like an hour or 2 minutes in.
No, this week we're going to talk about anime. You know, it's been a big staple in all of our lives, you know, growing up. I know for me as a boy, I started out with what all boys start out with.
And most of them still watch.
Yeah, as grown men.
As grown men.
Dragon Ball Z is a heavy part of my life. But I will also admit, I did get up early on Saturday mornings to watch Sailor Moon.
I have to blame me watching Sailor Moon on my sister.
I remember the first time I found out I was straight.
Was it because of Sailor Moon?
No, it was because of Sailor Mars.
You like the Sailor Mars?
So I know that's what it was for me, is just starting out with DBZ and working my way up into more mature, more interesting things.
Yeah.
I'm going to piss off a lot of guys.
Oh, man. I'm going to make a lot of enemies today. Don't you worry. I'm going to make a lot of enemies today.
Don't worry, I'm on your side.
No, he's not.
Fans, I'm on your side, fans.
He's lying to you right now.
No. I will defend what I believe.
Okay. We're going to get to you in a minute.
All right.
Janine?
So yeah, I started out with Sailor Moon because, you know, I grew up in the 90s. And that's what there was. There was only 3 anime.
Yeah.
Well, at one point there were only 2 that I knew of, which was, well, I mean,
No,
there
was so many more, but
there were more.
you'd still think about it until you get older.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. Like, I was watching it, but didn't know that it was a thing that there were more of.
Yeah, because there was ones like that. There was a Voltron anime.
Yeah, and Speed Racer was like way before our time.
Oh, snap. I didn't even think about Speed Racer. Voltron as being anime.
Well, you also got to remember that the
even
original anime was Astro Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It never crossed my mind.
But it came on during that time when it's surrounded by Hanna-Barbera cartoons, so you don't think about it.
Yeah.
So,
it's
Speed
another
Racer is just
cartoon.
one
Well,
of those,
the thing about Speed Racer, apparently, he was Mom's boyfriend.
Yeah, apparently. Mom
She had a crush on Speed Racer.
loved him.
Yeah, there was also that in Ronin Warriors. No one remembers Ronin Warriors
I
but me.
don't know.
It was the Zodiac ones.
Yes.
They changed the name. It wasn't Ronin Warriors. Here it was
The Zodiac?
yeah. Their opening was that song and I ran. I ran so far away.
Hold on, let me get my phone out real quick.
Zodiac Knights. I think that's
Zodiac
the
Knights?
American name was
Yes.
Zodiac Knights.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, and you don't realize it's anime until you think about it. It's like, wow, I was totally watching all that crap back in the day.
But like I was like super, not obsessed, but it was so different from like the cartoons that we grew up with. Like everything else on TV was nothing like Sailor Moon or Dragon Ball Z or Tenchi Muyo, which I would get up like super early to watch it on the Spanish channel. I would watch Tenchi Muyo and Sailor Moon on, I think it was Telemundo or something. It was like at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was watching it in Spanish, and it was amazing.
See, like for me, I grew up watching anime differently. Like, it's when I first understood religion. I would come home every day and watch Toonami, and it was a religious thing for me. I had to watch Toonami before I did anything else. Like, Mom be like, "Do you have homework?" No. I'd sit down and watch anime. Then I'd be like, "All right, man, I gotta do my homework. Anime's over. I gotta do my homework before I get my ass beat." Don't know Mama know.
But the Toonami days, that would have been around the time of Naruto getting big.
It was before that.
Before that?
Yeah. I don't know about
Inuyasha
here.
and
So
all that was Adult Swim for me.
Yeah, Inuyasha was Adult Swim stuff.
was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I started, at least in California, Toonami was an after-school thing, and that was back when it was Tenchi Muyo, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Does anybody remember Case Closed?
Yes.
I never watched that.
I hated that show.
I
I hated that show with an absolute
I
passion.
don't like it.
loved Case Closed in the beginning.
The beginning.
That show.
I
Is
wasn't
that
down.
the one where like the dude somehow becomes a kid? Okay.
And he's like the best detective.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
And he has to like try and keep the secret that he turned into a kid from his fiance wife
Something like that. It was
or something.
ago.
I just wasn't down for it.
And he never tries to turn back to an adult.
No.
Like, it was in the opening that he was trying to get back to his adult body. Never saw an episode where he was trying to become an adult.
He was too busy solving cases.
All right.
So.
Like Devin, I started off with watching DBZ, and then I grew into watching Full Metal Alchemist is my favorite of all time, specifically Brotherhood, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit more later. How much I hate.
Not right now.
Okay.
Not right now.
Okay.
You're already ready. You're primed.
I'm ready to go. Just open the gate.
I'm trying to piss off people. Let me piss off people.
I'm trying to make enemies here. All right.
But I remember a favorite of yours being back in the day.
One Piece.
One Piece.
Yeah.
You were hardcore One Piece.
Yeah, but then it just kept on going. I like shows that
doing that.
basically. Yeah.
I never told you. Oh, I might have told you guys that I marathoned One Piece.
Oh.
From I went all the way from back where it ended in America was when they went to the sky. Yeah, they went to the sky. I don't know. It was episode maybe
6 million.
hundreds. It was 1 to 200s. I sat there and marathoned all the way to like 600.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
That's
all the
what-
way till they made it to the grand
This
line.
was back when he was supposed to be doing homework.
Yeah.
Were you in Canada when you were
I was
doing
in
this?
Canada. when I
Okay.
did this.
Oh my God! Seriously? See, back when you should be doing your art homework.
Yeah.
Like, no, because I was burned out. Like, I was sitting in school for hours and hours, and I would come home and I'd be like it just One Piece. I'm done. I learned all I can. Because we'd have to sit in class for like 3 hours at a time, and so like normal colleges, it's like 1.5 hours of learning and then 1.5 hours of workshop. But since my trade school was only a year, we had to learn like 4 years of stuff in only a year. No, the whole entire class was teaching for 3 hours.
Jesus.
That's exhausting.
Yeah, and then we had to find our own time to work on our projects.
Which is
So
the worst for art schools. 'Cause
yeah. But the school was open 24/7, so there would literally be people like sleeping there. I slept at school a few times.
I don't miss art school at all.
Yeah. But so yeah, One Piece was one of my favorites, and I don't have any problems with One Piece other than the fact that it just kept going. I'd rather shows have an end so that I can like feel
Accomplished.
Complete.
They are going to have an end one day.
eventually. Once the animators are like, "What are we doing? Just stop."
No, I seriously forgot. Like, I'm sitting there watching One Piece, and I completely forget that they're looking for One Piece. And they make it to the Grand Line. I couldn't believe they made it to the Grand Line. They're like, "We're here." And I was like, "Oh, shit, this is what this show's about." And they're like, "Yeah, we're halfway there." Halfway? This is episode 600. I'm tired. I just let it lay down.
Why? How does it feel to know that those characters have not gotten older?
No, they have.
Have they?
Yeah, they've gotten older.
Okay.
Yeah. And so as the show goes on, time does progress, but there's a time skip that really shows them older.
Oh wait,
Okay.
like so everyone's over here talking about the anime that they got started with. No one mentioned Pokemon.
Yeah, no, we don't think about Pokemon as an answer.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
it's because
yeah.
it came on Cartoon Network.
But like Philip was all about that Pokemon life. When he was little.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I even had my grandmother one year for Halloween I was really young.
He was,
Really
like,
young.
he was like 3.
I was like 3. Made me a Pikachu costume.
It was handmade. It was adorable.
Hand stitched. I was Pikachu. Had complete with tail, and my mom came up with like lipstick to cover, do my cheeks.
he was an adorable little Pikachu.
Oh.
Wow.
I was Pikachu one year for
Are you
Halloween.
sure Mom doesn't have a picture of this?
I'm pretty sure she does somewhere.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on a Polaroid.
I'm gonna have to find this picture.
I'm okay.
But anime did a lot for a lot of us. I'll say what it did for me specifically. It showed me that, guys, as American cartoons go, we are not as mature as what they do in Japan. It taught me that storytelling can go beyond, learning whatever of the week or, watching cutesy animals do this and that.
The power
Oh yeah,
of
I forgot
friendship.
about Hamtaro.
Oh! It's Hamtaro time. Kush, 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 kush. Woo.
But anime showed me at a very young age that we can talk about some really
Dark stuff.
dark stuff. It's like, I know I've told y'all about my my first anime film experience, right?
No.
Okay, so
Was it the Pokemon movie?
Was it Digimon?
no. This is actually after Digimon. I'm scrolling through movie channels, right? And my mom, she's walking around the house. She sits down in the living room with me. Me being 11, 12, 13 years old or whatever. And I come across an anime and I was like, oh, this is cool. I don't know what's going on. But then all of a sudden, it's the beginning of this movie. And all of a sudden, this girl starts getting raped. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Turns out it was Ninja Scroll. That was my first vivid anime movie experience. Was the beginning of Ninja Scroll. I had to change the channel so damn quick, even though I was interested, not in the woman getting raped, but in what was going on with this movie, because I had never seen anything like that before. When you're used to American cartoons, it's all bright and centered around usually an animal,
Or the power of friendship.
Yeah, or the power of friendship.
Just nonsense in general.
Yeah, and besides Batman the Animated Series, you don't see American cartoons.
Well, even with Batman, so the thing that I really liked about anime was that it was one complete story rather than a bunch of
Small stories.
that have nothing to do
And
with
that's
each other.
that's what I like about series is that end.
Oh yeah.
That's
Besides-
what
So
besides,
that's I know
Philip.
that for me that's why I was one of the reasons I gravitated towards anime because I felt like I was invested in the story. Whereas with like American cartoons, like you can play them in any order and it won't make a difference.
Right. Unless
And
there's
that's-
like a
that's-
part one, part two
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
thing.
And that's one of the reasons why I'll watch like all of the Marvel shows on Netflix, but I have trouble with the DC ones because they're
like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
all
never
the
watched
DC
any
ones.
Of the DC ones.
No, all the CW shows are just like that.
Yeah.
Unless there's usually an overarching story for the whole season, but every episode feels like it can be its own thing. You can watch them out of order unless something happens in that episode that will have something to do with the end of the season.
Yeah. But most of the episodes, and I found you can hop in anywhere and understand exactly what's going on. You can hop into the middle of an episode and understand what's going on.
You want to know why they do that? Because they do a recap at the beginning of the episode. Whatever is important for that episode will show up in that recap at the beginning.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's why I like anime, is because it's a full story. The one exception to that, and is one of my top 5 animes, is Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop is an episodic thing with an overarching story. But
which I love that movie. But
Cowboy Bebop is perfect.
apparently you were yelling in his ear.
You nearly made me deaf doing that. That was really loud.
People needed to know Cowboy Bebop is perfect.
We gotta put up.
Phil, what has anime done for you?
Anime made me the person that I am, awkward and timid.
Forever alone.
Yes, basically. I will be forever alone.
My life was great until anime.
This is actually
This is
an
actually
AA meeting.
it's a PSA. Don't watch anime
So-
or watch anime.
Yeah.
Nah, it hasn't really, specifically done anything for me, per se.
I mean, but I feel like, especially when you get into
It probably helps with my sorry.
No,
cut
go
you
ahead,
off.
go
It probably helps with the way my thinking works. Is I've said this before. My thought process does not happen in words. It happens in actions, like characters doing stuff.
In pictures.
In pictures, yeah. It doesn't. My mind doesn't work in words. I see a scenario. It's not like someone writing it down, like Caitlin would see. A narrator or an author writing a situation down. And for me, it's here's the scene. These characters are doing this.
And this is what the characters look like, and this
yeah,
is their badass weapon, and this is the monster that's gonna eat them.
And then this one came out from outer space, and this one came up from the ground somehow. I don't know how it happens. I have a very overactive imagination
Yeah.
because of anime.
because of anime.
So I can tell you guys that anime didn't make me queer, but
If
it
you had
helped me realize
If-
that I'm not straight.
Okay.
Because waifus. Come on, guys, waifus.
I've never.
Your waifu is shit.
I don't like Moe. I'm gonna say that straight up. Wyatt, 2018, doesn't like Moe.
Get out! Get out!
I'm not entirely sure what moe is.
All right, so Moe is what most anime chicks look like now. The big eyes are usually shorter and slim
They're
and
like really
cute.
cutesy.
Yeah, the really
Candy
cute
flavored,
girls.
candy colored hair.
Yeah, I like old, like back in the 80s, the tall, mature looking
Yeah,
anime
They're
characters.
16, but they look like they're 35.
Yeah, yeah. I like the anime characters who look like they're in their 30s.
I like what you're selling here, Wyatt.
I like
Boobs
the
the size of your
girls.
head.
Golden Boy is a perfect anime.
Stop doing that.
Oh.
You're actively giving me a headache.
I mean, it just depends on the style that you're into. Like, I could watch anything from any seconds. I love to sit and watch a good Studio Ghibli film, which is completely different from, say, Sekirei.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would absolutely agree with that.
Visual.
I know Philip was into Sekirei for a while.
Oh, Phil was hardcore into Sekirei.
I wasn't hardcore into it.
It's alright. Sekirei was a good anime.
I was watching it for the plot.
Yeah, all of that plot.
Yeah,
If by
just-
plot you mean boobs.
Yeah, just all the just flopping. The plot is just flopping around.
But yeah, I mean, just it depends on the quality of anime that you're into. And I know as we grow older, we grow into watching different types of anime because as I got older, I got really deep into Death Note. Hellgirl was a favorite of mine.
I really liked Hellgirl as well.
I'm into the dark stuff. That came out wrong.
Oh, and Mushishi.
Oh yeah,
Which
what
I
else we did
still
with it?
haven't gotten around to watching.
pretty
What?
good.
That was good.
It's
It
like
is good.
It's fucking
Yeah.
depressing as fuck.
No, but like in
No,
a good way.
no.
Yeah, it's in a good way.
I will tell you one that's depressing. Gunslinger Girl. That shit is depressing. He knows.
I haven't finished Gunslinger Girl. I've only watched a handful of episodes.
Gunslinger Girl can get super depressing,
Okay.
but it's still a good anime. But I got into watching the darker stuff. And, you know, as a boy, you still have fun with stuff like Naruto or...
Stopped watching
So
that too.
when that came out, we were in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember Alex being really into it.
Alex was... Oh, yeah, because he cosplayed at the 2006 A-Con as a Naruto
So,
character.
like, at that time, when it was, like, big over here and everyone was like, oh, shit, like, you know, running around with the fucking headbands. And
And there are arms behind their backs.
yeah.
I had an armband, too, so I'm not even gonna lie.
And I was just like, this shit is stupid. All y'all people are lame.
We're boys like ninjas.
Yeah, I was never into, like, what, shonen?
Shonen
Yeah,
anime.
Shonen anime.
All right. I'm sorry. You guys chose the wrong topic today because I have a lot of rants. Okay? I have a lot of problems with anime. Naruto being the main one. And I refuse to watch Naruto.
We've had this talk. I
We've
remember.
had this talk, right?
So we're gonna exceed the
That's
time
fine.
limit.
No,
That's
no,
fine.
We'll find.
Yeah.
We'll do what we want today.
Break it into bits.
I used to love Naruto. Naruto was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Right? It was fantastic, right? Until I noticed the pattern. And the pattern was in the middle of fights or, you know, when something's cool about to happen. There's some backstory, which is okay. Okay, I want to learn about all these characters. Every character is very unique. It's, you know, well designed.
Yeah.
I want to know a little bit more about these characters, what they're talking about or whatnot. But it's during the tuning exams, and this was my final straw, right? It's the fight between Naruto and Neji. They fight for a little bit, and then there's a flashback to Neji, right? The episode's in, flashback isn't over. Flashback picks back up on the next episode, right? And then they fight for a little bit, and then Orochimaru attacks. Right? So I'm sitting here waiting for this Naruto Neji fight. Like, Neji's one of the coolest characters.
He was one of my favorites.
Yeah. And we probably got, what, 5 minutes worth of fight before Orochimaru attacks, and all wasted by 20-something minutes of flashback. So I stopped watching Naruto.
I don't blame you for it.
To this day, I won't watch Naruto.
So don't know if I told you this, but a while back, a couple years ago, I started watching the Shippuden episodes. I started from there, and I kept on going, and I think I made it like 50-something episodes in, to where I was like, I just can't care anymore. Like, I just couldn't.
I'm gonna tell you what I did as a result of all that. I was like, screw this, I'll just read the manga. And that is exactly what I did. I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna pick up the manga because I can't sit into half of its filler, and you know, anime is notorious for that. It's like, shit, we caught up with the manga, just put some filler in there.
But that's why I like
you know who doesn't do that?
Oh god.
JoJo.
Oh my goodness.
That and Hellsing Ultimate took like 8 years to have like 6 episodes. I am not even kidding. It was like some years between each episode, and I was like super excited for everyone.
That's right. Gundam Unicorn did the exact same thing.
That's one of those things where it has to be an event.
Yeah. But no, I blame.
You forgot what you're talking about? What you're ranting about?
Naruto. How much you hate it.
I don't know.
Okay.
Alright, well.
Oh, filler. Like the one filler that doesn't bother me is Dragon Ball Z, because it's not nonsense, right? Like, their filler is just screaming. It's just screaming, but it
13
makes
episodes later.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait for that spirit bomb to drop.
But it makes
episodes.
it feel like it flows, you know? Like, it doesn't feel like...
But it also makes it feel as though time doesn't pass while all these things are happening, and someone's screaming for a million years, and it's like, oh, like a minute has passed in the anime.
And I think it's stuff like that is the reason why I feel like, especially DBZ, I'm about to make an anime today, is entry-level anime. Okay. This is beginner stuff right here.
I've told y'all, right, that stopped caring, and I don't like DBZ anymore. like I told you, I'm gonna make some enemies today. Here's the reason why I don't like DBZ. There's no consequences to their deaths.
True.
The creator Akira Toriyama said that he was supposed to stop. Like he envisioned ending DBZ at, I think it was Frieza. Like after Frieza, it was supposed to end.
So we weren't supposed to get a Buu saga.
Yeah, we weren't even supposed to have Cell. It was supposed to stop at Frieza, and it was supposed to end. And then his boss came up to him and was like, "No, continue working."
We're making too much money.
Basically,
Keep drawing.
And he's like, "Well, the main character is dead. How do I?" All right, so they just fucking made a wish, and he came back to life. That's literally all of their deaths are like. It doesn't matter.
That's because Dragon
There's
Ball,
no consequence.
Dragon
I
Ball.
don't know,
Chaozu.
so Wyatt and I were in Lubbock over the last weekend, and we caught an episode of Dragon Ball Z, and I have no idea what's going on. Like,
Oh yeah, there are characters.
Majin Buu is hot. And he's like,
he's Skinny Buu.
Yeah, he's like
Skinny Buu,
ripped
yeah.
and like.
Was it one of the new episodes or one of the old?
No, it was the Buu saga.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm too old for this. I have no idea what's going on.
Like to her, it probably looked like a little boy's like playpen.
It's like,
It's this kid in the sandbox with his little figurines.
it's like so I don't personally understand.
Fight.
I don't understand why everybody gets so excited. I don't know what is it called these days. Is it Super?
Yeah,
Dragon Ball
Dragon
Zoop Super.
Yeah, I can't get into that.
Johanna, you're not the only one because I've found it hard to get into it. I got into it at first. I found it pretty easy because it was a standard Dragon Ball Z, show how it usually starts out. But once they got to the tournament, I don't know. I had a real hard time sticking with it.
Yeah, it's like as a anime viewer or manga reader, I've grown past that. Like I said, I'm gonna piss somebody off today.
I have transcended you.
I've transcended to stuff that's way more mature and way more interesting.
To be honest, I think it was a step backwards. Like I know I have an unpopular opinion that GT is good, but I felt GT was a better Dragon Ball than Super is.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
But like I don't know, just the grittiness, even the style. They updated the style now.
Because I remember with the transition after the Buu saga, they went straight into GT.
Yeah.
And you can tell that there's a style change.
But even I felt that GT is a closer style than Super is to Z, because I saw this artist did all of the Dragon Ball Super characters. They colored them like they were in the Frieza saga, and it's night and day. Yeah.
I grew to the point I had to venture past Dragon Ball. I was like, you know what, Bleach.
In the beginning.
In the beginning.
Right? Yep.
In the beginning.
In the beginning.
I mean,
And then it had that same thing that I talked about in One Piece, where it
goes
just
on too long.
just kept on going and going and going to the point where I was like, I'm done.
It wasn't even like that. It kept on going. It was.
It
has a lot of problems.
They introduce more into the lore, and if you don't introduce that stuff in the beginning, you can throw even your most hardcore viewer off. It's like
they had 2 filler seasons.
Filler seasons.
Yeah,
Seasons.
no, he's not wrong. There were seasons that were just filler.
God, but it's just
like the season ended. I remember. So one of the seasons ended. They went on to this filler season. I'm like, oh, well, this has nothing to do with what's going on here. I watched the whole entire season. I regret it. I wish I had that time back. And so they go into the Arankar arc, right in the middle. They didn't kill, or I guess they killed off one of like the coolest villains Bleach has ever had, right? So I'm like, oh man, that was badass. I can't wait to see what other badass things are going on. Season ends. I'm sitting there waiting. Boom, another filler season. Full season. It was also horrible, and I didn't even waste my time.
I'm sorry. I mean, but you grow and you find something else, or if you're sitting around waiting for another season of a particular show to start, I can't remember the name of the show now because I was gonna give it.
I'll fill in. Air Gear.
Damn it.
So I actually liked Air Gear.
I love Air Gear.
So did Wyatt. Except
Air Gear was a perfect anime.
was it Wyatt? Was it? Was it?
No, it absolutely wasn't. It was one of the worst animes I've ever seen because of how it ends.
That's where I was getting
But you're
from.
taking out on a whole season of a show for
Because of
2 episodes, 1 or 2 episodes.
Not
Not even the last
full episode.
the last 5 minutes.
Not
of
even
the last
the last 5 minutes.
There are 2 shows that were amazing animes, but I have to put them on my worst list because of their endings, and that's Air Gear and Elfen Lied.
I never watched Elfen Lied. I've always wanted to, but I just never got around
But
to it.
real quick, back on Air Gear. I know Janine wanted to say something.
No, just that I liked Air Gear and
Yeah, so
Wyatt
it's like-
didn't like it because of the ending.
Yeah, I was reading, and then when I saw that it was an actual anime, I bought that whole damn season. I still have it and still enjoy it because one, I enjoy that style, and because I'm a '90s kid, inline skating was a really big thing.
Jet Set Radio.
Oh, Jet Set Radio is
Oh my
one of
God.
my favorite games of all time. So skating is a big deal to me. So for that show was really cool. It's like I want to build my own set of friggin'. But they'll be really expensive because I wear a size 15 shoe. Yeah. I couldn't build my own. No. Skates, sorry. My own gears.
I think we haven't actually said the reason why Wyatt doesn't like Air Gear, and the reason why Wyatt doesn't like Air Gear is because the last episode ends.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
How old is it?
I know.
It's old enough, and it's so back burner right now. Everyone who's going to see it has already seen
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody's thinking about Air Gear, but I put it there anyway.
I'm pretty sure if I said Air Gear to anybody that nowadays they'd be like, "What?"
it. Yeah,
What's an Air Gear?
Yeah.
but it ends. So basically, like the main character the whole time he goes from a nobody to
Absolutely
one of
no
the
skill.
to like one of the best skaters, and there's this challenge to like jump over a whole bunch of people, right? So he's about to take that jump, right? And all of a sudden his friends are just like, I trust this guy. A kid who has no skill in the very beginning. They just start laying down, making the challenge harder for him, And so he jumps, he makes the jump, right? He's midair and it ends.
That's true.
It just ends, right? No big deal. It's an anime. Of course we know he makes it. Of course we know that the last guy doesn't die, right? of course we know that he's going to become the king of skating, right? I just gotta wait for season 2. Sit down. I look online. Some more. I'm scouring the internet.
He's at forums asking when is season 2.
Yep. We never got it.
We know what you have to do.
No, it's not okay.
You have
It's
to,
not
you
okay.
have to read the manga.
Yeah. That's a tease. That's exactly what
The
that
story
season
continues.
was.
You
It
just have to
continues.
read it.
Read the manga.
And you know what? He makes it.
Because the power of virginity.
I have the power of anime and virginity on my side.
But
Oh my God.
I enjoy Air Gear. I mean, I was agitated at that ending for all of like 5 minutes. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just read the manga.
Because like Air Gear is probably one of the best times I've ever had watching anime. I absolutely adored Air Gear.
Yeah, and it
So are we all going to talk about our favorite animes?
ooh,
Favorite anime?
I
That
have
is-
2 to talk about.
We know what they are.
we're gonna get to you last because I know you got a rant coming.
Yeah.
Uh,
I gotta get angry about something.
Janine, we'll start with you.
Okay, so
Go to the other side of the room.
yeah. So like I don't like shonen animes. Like it's just it's too much.
Shoujo is more your thing.
Well, yeah, I guess. I like slice of life anime
Yes.
and like funny stuff. Like I enjoy the horror shows and like the scary spooky stuff. That's fun too. But like my favorite that I've ever watched is Lucky Star.
What is
For
That's your favorite?
It's my favorite of all time. Is Lucky
for
Star.
the
Oh my gosh.
not. Go ahead and explain
Okay,
Lucky
so
Star.
Lucky Star is an anime about a bunch of high school girls who look like they're like, I don't know, 10. So it's a bunch of moe girls. Being cute and talking. This, all it is.
Okay.
They're
I know
just
exactly what you're talking about now.
There's nothing wrong with slice of life.
Yeah, what the main chick with the blue hair, she's kind of an otaku, and like she makes references and stuff like that, and she like, you know, whatever. It's cute and it's not serious. Like I can watch it while I'm just like putting on makeup or getting ready for work. It's great. I love that one.
Oh, and you know what? I blame you for me enjoying Udon.
That was another good one that I liked.
Udon Hostake.
I refuse to set my eyes on it.
I made Devin watch it.
Oh
I also
my
made you watch
God.
it.
I didn't like it.
But you watched it.
I didn't watch it all.
You didn't finish it? I thought you finished it with me. Oh.
But yeah, I got into Udon, and as a boy, you should not be watching.
It's a reverse harem
Yeah.
with twincest.
Yeah,
If
that's
it makes you feel better.
That's the part that I didn't like. That's the part that I didn't like about the show. Is the reason why I won't watch it is because the twincest.
But it's so great.
No,
He's like, I'm fine with reverse harem or whatever, but twin says no. That's
Yeah.
the line.
I'm fine. I'm fine with the reverse harem. I don't really care. I couldn't care any less.
But if
But
it makes you
this-
feel any better, I liked Fruits Baskets.
I did not like Fruits Baskets.
Which is a surprise.
Yeah, it was too long and it felt boring to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked it.
Okay.
The training little animals. I think the seahorse was my favorite. Oh my goodness.
It's scaly whenever it's fish.
Oh, I forgot about Ultimate Muscle.
Oh, that brings me back to the days.
Yeah, if you're a boy and you loved wrestling back in the day, Ultimate Muscle or Konikuman, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But that was
I'm
a fun
lost
show
here.
to watch. But yeah, not my favorite. Why? Go on to you.
Oh man. So I have multiple favorites. Like I really like more mature animes. I really love the stuff from like the 80s that was just super gory, like back before there was like any kind of rating system or anything.
Like Akita and stuff.
Like
Just
what's
tits
that-
falling out of everything.
Just tits falling out, people's arms and heads being chopped off.
what's the guts from?
Berserk.
Berserk, yeah, that kind of stuff. Ninja Scroll.
Fist of the North Star.
Baki the Grappler, stuff like that.
God, that was still like, the scene with
When
the
he
tendons.
Where he pulls out his tendon
Yeah,
and it like makes a
that
fist.
stuck with me like in a. It's still stuck in my head.
What was that one anime that we were watching when we were really young? And dude, like it was, they're in a fighting ring.
Mhm.
Dude puts his fingers into the guy's veins here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
was that
his.
Is that what? Yeah, is that what
It's a
you're
really
talking
American name. We saw the poster for it. Story of
yeah, I forgot
story of Richie, story of
something.
Martin, story of Paul,
about?
Ricky, story of Ricky.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it doesn't really matter. I remember that's one of my fond memories of
Fond memory.
fond memories. Some guy getting his artery pulled out by another dude.
That's story of Ricky, and it's brutal. There's a live action version of it too.
I'm not gonna watch that.
We'll venture into live action.
We'll venture into live action shortly.
Hold on. The live action Ricky one is phenomenal.
Is it?
If
Is
anyone did an anime live action right, it was Story of Ricky. Because there's no way you can get blood and gore wrong. That's the story.
Okay.
Story of Ricky is about blood and gore.
All right, Devin. What about you? What's your favorite?
Cory in the house.
My favorite anime.
Cory in the House is a perfect anime.
Shut up and stop that.
No, I actually have one that was an anime and one that I wish was an anime. My favorite one of all time is the first season of Death Note. Just because I enjoy the dynamic between Light and oh my god, why does his name blank on me right
L?
now? L, yes. Because I like to see a bad guy and a good guy go at it with their minds instead of just fist to fist. That's fun, but to watch this go back and forth, it's like a Sherlock and Moriarty kind of thing, and that's why.
So, I gotta ask, how did you feel about the blackwashed Death Note?
Oh, the blackwashed what?
The blackwashed Death Note.
I didn't want to get into this. I hate that movie, but the guy who plays Death Note played him well enough.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about that.
The guy who
movie.
plays L. I said the guy who plays
I
Death
was
Note.
like, who is the character known as Death Note?
No, the guy who played L, I enjoyed him well enough because he was at least trying. The guy who played Light, I'm like, what the fuck? Is he screaming the first time that he sees Ryuk? What the hell is this? I actually sat and watched that shit. I'm so mad.
So I didn't watch the anime, right? But I watched the movie. And coming from someone who knows nothing about the anime, it was a pretty decent movie. Like I enjoyed it, but I don't know the characters.
And
I watched it because my
Willem
boyfriend,
Dafoe?
my boyfriend Willem Dafoe was in it, and
which is strange. You have the strangest.
I have weird crushes.
She does.
I like the ugly men.
She like especially older white men. Willem Dafoe, Sean Connery, Mickey Rourke. It's weird. That's a fetish in its own right.
Yeah.
Machete.
Machete. Yeah, I like Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo's an ugly man.
There's that face again.
No, we should really take a picture of this face and put it in that point. Hold on. Where's my damn camera? Oh dear God!
Here, wait, hold on. Let me get this.
Please, I don't have a hand free. But
I got it.
but Death Note would be my all-time favorite. Now, one that I wish was an anime that I read the manga from beginning to end. Bakuman, a slice of life anime that's just a manga about a guy who really likes a girl. And in order for him to marry this girl, he has to draw and write a successful manga. And it's just cutesy slice of life stuff because he does some dumb stuff. He works his ass off to the bone. It's just like, you don't have to do this. We can be together and you not have this manga. It's like, no, I need to be successful for you. I believe in love.
So I completely forgot about my other favorite anime, which is School Rumble.
Oh yeah,
That was great.
School
I love
Rumble.
School Rumble.
School Rumble is a perfect.
What did I tell you
anime.
about that? Stop! You're gonna blow out my eardrums, and everyone listening.
People need to know.
But I wish Bakuman was an anime. I'd watch the crap out of it, even if it is just some boring to most slice of life anime. I'd watch the crap out of it.
People watch Slice of Lives. Case in point.
Yeah, I love them.
Oh, Samurai Gourmet. Everyone needs to watch.
That's a perfect
I still
anime.
feel like I need to watch
Samurai
this.
Gourmet is a perfect anime. Everyone needs to go watch it. It's on Netflix. It's not under anime. Just type in Samurai Gourmet and watch
Isn't
it.
it because it's not anime?
Shut up! It's the perfect anime.
Is it live action?
Yeah,
It is
it's
a
live
live action
action.
anime.
Oh, I guess if we're gonna start on live action,
Because it's live action, but every episode is set up like an anime.
Yeah.
It's played out like an anime.
It's so perfect. Like I loved it.
It's phenomenal.
I guess if we're gonna venture on to live action and that transition, Phil, let's talk about your favorite, and then you can.
Oh, okay.
Then you can go.
My favorite being the Full Metal Alchemist series. I prefer Brotherhood because it's much quicker and easier to get into than the original. But the original was great. It had a darker end actually than Brotherhood, and of course the other one being JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because
it's fucking ridiculous.
yes, they cut an episode of JoJo while they were in Lubbock, and they were like, "This is fucking weird. I don't understand any of this." And I asked, "Well, what episode did you get to, or what episode was it?" She goes, It was one where, what was it?
So it was like, he asked me, and I was like, I don't know. There was something about a dog, and no, like, some dude was, like, trying to not be found by another dude who could hear really well. So he was flying with the dog, but the dog kept farting.
And I know exactly what episode she was talking about.
What the hell?
And I told her the reason why you don't understand anything that's going on is because you came in at the last 5 episodes of the goddamn show. It's like coming in at like the last 5 minutes of the movie. He goes, "Why did he shoot that guy? I don't understand."
So you're telling me that this show is like fully coolly weird?
No, it's not.
No.
Not quite fully
it's
coolly
not.
weird.
It's nowhere near fully weird. But
I wouldn't say nowhere near fully weird. It gets there. It gets there.
It has a comprehensible story.
If you pay attention and fully coolly, you'll get it.
Anyway, but like, I said this to her. Like, it's spoilers for people who haven't seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but it's a couple years old now, and I think, yeah, it's fine. That dog you're talking about, I didn't really like him as a character because he has a personality. Mm-hmm. He even has an internal voice that speaks in human tongue. Mm-hmm. So it was really weird. But I didn't really like him as a character because he was a shit. And then, like, near the, like, further into the, that's part of the series is he got killed. Mm-hmm. But he got it raw. Like, he got it bad. Imagine Dead Space, Isaac Clarke, and then you're just constantly doing the stomp.
Ooh.
Yeah. 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 That's how bad he got it. And yeah, that's another one of my favorite animes. But I do really enjoy the darker stuff as well, like Hellgirl, Mushishi, and what was the other one that I was talking about? I can't remember.
I don't remember either. We've talked about a lot. We've said a lot of names of a lot of shows.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of the darker, like, more depressing stuff is my what things that I like.
That's your bag.
Yeah.
But
Mushishi did more than the others because like nothing good happens to anybody in that series.
It was also a really beautiful anime too. Like all the
visual set pieces and everything.
Yeah.
It's nothing but
there's something
countryside,
like calming and tranquil about it.
And countryside and mountain ranges is the majority of that show.
And that's one good thing about anime that they do that you don't see in American cartooning is when they're transitioning from a scene to scene, they may show for all of like 6 to 10 seconds a shot of a beautiful mountainside. You don't see that in American cartoons.
It's because most of American cartoons are in cities.
Say are in America. In America,
or underwater.
Yeah. But and another thing that it's about Mushishi is that there's a whole lot of nothing happening. Yeah. There's like very rarely any action. It's mostly done by conversation or science, basically.
And I blame that on good writing.
The budget on that must have been itty bitty.
You know what?
They saved millions on animation in that show.
You know what? It was good.
Yeah,
it was good. I loved it. It's one of my highly recommended. Go and watch Mushishi. Oh, Death Parade is the other one that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to say y'all need to watch Death Parade.
Crap! I completely forgot about one that because you said Death Parade, it brought me to thinking about Tokyo Ghoul. You need to watch Tokyo Ghoul.
Okay.
But, yeah. Going back to FMA, Fullmetal Alchemist. Oh. We're going to have this talk now.
All right.
I'm going to let you rant.
Let me get my microphone further from my mouth.
There was recently a live-action release.
Yes, there was. And, I'm fired up.
I can feel the agitation.
I'm going Super Saiyan.
Okay, Natsu being fired up.
Now, even though you haven't seen it
yet, Wyatt and I agree that we will watch it together, and I will constantly still talk shit about it.
Don't do that. Go in there with an open mind.
Okay.
Because as someone who's
it's gonna be hard for me to go in there with an open mind, knowing everything that happens in the anime, and then seeing everything that changes in the movie.
There are a lot of connections to Brotherhood, and you'll be like, oh, they took that straight from Brotherhood.
Yeah, you told me that, with the zombie homunculi thing, you told me that there was a the dog scene.
Yeah, I heard the story itself was pretty faithful to the anime.
They tried to keep it as faithful to the original or the Brotherhood as physically possible, but also trying to rearrange some of the set pieces and trying to make it like they set it up for like, here's arc 1 and then here's gonna be arc 2 for the second movie that we're gonna make, because it's Full Metal Alchemist. Who's not gonna watch it? You told me that there was a dog scene in that movie, and I was like, oh man, I'm excited to see how that goes down. But in the anime, and mind you, I'm gonna credit anyone that's watching this Mother's Basement, because this is where, I saw he did a video on it, and he talked a lot about it, and he had a lot of great points about it being bad, because in the anime, or in the movie rather, the dog scene happened just instantly. Like, you got a scene of the girl with the dog, and then the next scene they were combined, and his daughter is now like a soulless creature that is begging for death, basically. And
that's
it
basically,
a movie or is it a show?
It's a movie. It's a live action. It's a movie.
But
so that's the thing. It's like you're trying to condense
exactly
a season,
and that's what I don't like about movies, is that they're trying to condense all of this like stuff that happens over however many episodes into like a 2-hour block, but they also want to try and keep it as faithful to the show,
and you can't.
Can't do that.
But it's they've said the same thing about Brotherhood, because I saw I forget who did it. I don't think it was Mother's Basement. Someone else did a comparison of the original Full Metal Alchemist to Brotherhood, and it was the dog scene, and so they were saying, in Brotherhood it was bad because they condensed it to like 2 episodes or something, where it was like, I think 5 episodes in the original or something like that. And like the original one had a huge impact, well, Brotherhood,
they both have a huge impact, because it's
but as someone coming from the original one to the new one, it was like I
was like, oh, I remember this thing. Why is it so short? Basically.
But if you didn't watch the original and you just went to Brotherhood, you'd be like, oh man, that sucks, and then like you move on with the story. Okay, I understand. So
that. But still,
I feel it's going to be kind of the same thing, where the movie isn't for non-Full Metal Alchemist fans; it's for people who watched the original one, then Brotherhood,
and then
the movie.
Like someone like me. Well, like, because in the movie you get the dog scene, you get a scene, like a full scene maybe of the girl and the dog together, and then like Winry, for some reason, the girl love interest, is there with them for some reason, and she and the main character go off to do something, and then when they come back, the girl is now fused with the dog. Whether it is in the show, it's you have a scene where the dad did it because like he got bored or something like that. I don't know, but in the show it was he was desperate. He needed to keep his license to continue doing his research.
It's the same reason.
No,
I watched the movie. It's the same reason.
You don't get that feeling though.
No, but okay. Let me break this down for you. For the movie itself, the drama in it actually works. There are issues between Ed and Al where if you have a sibling, I'm sorry.
If you have a sibling, stairs have wide.
Okay.
I realized that as I was looking at where I was like, oh, I'm sorry. But there's issues between them, and then there's a fight, kind of, and
but like the whole when the way that happened in the movie is completely different. Like why was it the professor who brainwashed Alphonse into doing it instead of the original guy who did it, which was a serial killer got his soul binded to another different suit of armor, and then saying that your memories are false because you're just your brother created you. You were never an actual person. Your brother implanted these memories in you, and then it's like, well, then how do you know you're not real? He goes, well, I'm a serial killer. Like, why would someone create that? Like, I enjoy killing way too much. And he's like, well, shit, you might be right. And then there's a whole thing where it's like, how could you, like, a physical fist fight between the brothers and saying, how could you do this to me, or whatever. And then it comes up there's like Alphonse has memories of stuff that happened that Edward doesn't remember, which was interesting. Why does it like, oh, I brainwashed him and now he thinks that he's not real?
It's called condensing, and then that's the issue that a lot of these
and
movies have.
Okay,
yeah, that's the thing is it's going to be a recap, you know. It's
whole movie, the whole thing is a recap.
But it's meant to go from original to Brotherhood to this one. All right, you know. So you'll if it's good, which personally I heard that they spent the whole entire budget on Edward. And then everything else.
Alphonse is completely CG'd.
Yeah. Hey, tell you what, Alphonse looks great.
Or Alphonse, they spent the whole
whole budget on Alphonse.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I have yet to see the movie.
Yeah, we haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another thing. Here's another part of the movie. The very beginning. I can't remember the name of the priest. Do you remember the name of the priest?
I don't remember the name of the priest, but I know the scene.
Father or something. I can't remember his name. He is he is a religious leader in this small town off in the middle of nowhere.
Performing miracles
and everything. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, in the show at least. Everyone's like, oh, man, he's the greatest. He blesses everyone. He comes out of nowhere. He grabs, some rocks and turns them into flowers and something like. He just pulls things out of nowhere just because he has the Philosopher's Stone. And he's like, in the show, and I get budgets and, small town stuff like that. But in the show, he's like a cult leader, basically. Everyone is willing to praise him. He is supposed to be, shine at the top of everything. And
he's revered.
Yeah, he's revered, basically. Okay. Like he's supposed to be displayed proudly and like whatever. In the show, he is running through back alleys.
No, in the movie.
In the movie, he's running through back alleys trying to get away from a physical confrontation with one of the brothers, and then once he gets into like a public place, he takes a hostage. Why would a person that everyone believes is someone who descended from or came from God? Yeah. Why wasn't the entire town not willing to like jump in front of like 16 bullets for him? Why?
Okay, so
and in the I'm sorry, Devin, but in the
I got him started.
in the show. The way they expose him as a fraud is that he came like Edward finds him in his office and he basically has a wire on him connected to a megaphone connected to a speaker or another microphone connected to all of the radios in the town, and he goes up to him and basically just talks at him and tricks him into exposing himself as a fraud. And in the movie, none of that happens. It's all like physical confrontation, takes a hostage. He gets away somehow, and then one of the homunculi kills him. And then the other homunculi transforms into him and is like, I am your new god now. Start a war, kill everyone.
So it seems to be that your issue is what issue that we have with all of these movies is you're trying to force so much good content into a 2-hour lifespan, which never works. We've experienced that with The Last Airbender.
No, that was just bad.
No, that was just bad.
No, they were trying to condense that whole first season.
It was still just bad.
It was still bad because that airbending was terrible.
Like they could have, it could have worked, because I after watching it, I realized that it was a recap, and it's a movie. It's a movie for fans. You want to see all of your coolest things in live action. It's not meant to really take the story.
It felt like someone who was not a fan of or who had ever seen the
I'm not Shyamalan.
But yeah, that's what it felt like. If they had got someone who felt like they watched the show, I think it would have been better, and I would have been at least more satisfied.
Yeah, we made the mistake of seeing it in the theater.
Yeah.
I think I saw it in theater too. Yeah.
And I've only been tricked by movie trailers twice.
Because
One was Black Christmas, which Janine still hates me for.
That movie.
And Last Airbender, because that Last Airbender first trailer was so damn good.
I wasn't expecting or anything. I went into a movie theater to see it. I don't even remember what. I don't remember what I went to saw. Maybe Iron Man or something. And like I saw the trailer, I lost my shit. Like I lost my shit when I saw like his tattoos and stuff. I was like, oh, I feel bad because I was with two of my friends. I'm pretty sure I hyped it up for them. I'm sorry, guys. If you're listening, I'm sorry.
But yeah, the biggest issue seems to be with these movies is that they want to condense, which is like just picking points from a whole season of like 24 episodes.
Yeah.
And condensing it down to a 2-hour lifespan, which never seems to work.
It's never going to work. It should be, if you're going to make it a live action adaptation of anything, make it like The Walking Dead. A Walking Dead type thing where it's a series of hour-long episodes where you can get a point across.
Riri.
What'd you call me?
I think it's Riri or something like that. I'll find it later and link it. But they did a live action series which came out pretty decently. It's not completely faithful, but
that's fine.
Yeah,
but it gets the point across.
Yeah.
Another thing about the show versus the movie. In the show, Colonel Roy Mustang was framed for the death of Colonel Hughes, which was his best friend.
Happened in the movie too.
Yeah, but in the show, it's like again with the time thing. In the show, it's like, did the Colonel kill him? Or no, not him. The girl. What's his name? Rebecca something. I can't remember. The girl Rebecca was framed for killing Colonel Hughes, and then they found her corpse charred and like burnt to all hell, and then he got framed for murdering her.
Yeah,
which none of that happened in the movie. Where in the movie, Colonel Mustang was framed for killing Hughes, but like that doesn't really work because like you see Colonel Mustang shoot Hughes and then immediately turn into envy. And it's like, oh, just fuck, I'm out.
Like I think one of the biggest problems with like live action adaptations is that they keep giving it to these big directors and stuff like that who aren't fans,
right?
You know. Because we've seen, you know, most books don't translate properly. The only really successful one being Harry Potter, you know, that and all of the Marvel series, which Marvel, it hits all the points that everybody should hate. It's not faithful to anything it's titled after, you know. It's
like Marvel is the special child of the entire thing.
But the difference is that Marvel is being made by comic book fans. They're sitting there, they're doing research, they're, you know, reading the comics multiple times, they're coming up with stories, they're making sure that, you know, the characters are at least faithful to a version of, you know, whatever hero they're supposed to be. Yeah. So even Thor was more serious before, but there were funnier Thors in the past, which, you know, we've seen them transition into. Even Wakanda isn't completely faithful to the book, but, you know, they've done their research and had a very close spiritual successor, you know, and that's a huge difference between that and every other adaptation that's failed. Is because you can tell it's never made by fans.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if anybody besides me saw Ghost in the Shell.
I watched it,
and it's like it has the beats from the original film, but it's lacking something. Visually, it's stunning, but like any other adaptation, it lacks.
Yeah, I still have yet to see that.
This is basically what this conversation is boiling down to. A live action movie of anything is not going to work because you're trying to condense.
It can work.
Speaking of
several episodes into like 2 hours.
Next weekend, there's going to be a showing of the live action Sailor Moon movie.
We're going to see that
at the Alamo Draft House.
Wait, that was a thing?
Yeah. There was a movie, a live action.
I have to work that day, unfortunately.
So you guys, well, we have a convention to
Yeah.
go to, so we can't go see it. But y'all can go see it.
I'm going to be working all day that day.
No.
Open to close.
Wait, no. It's March, and I got a lot of movies this month.
It's go see Sailor Moon. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can find it online, but like.
Yeah, but we like to do things the right way. Support if you're gonna support a movie, go to the theater.
Yeah. That's I also have.
Yeah, but I got a lot. I got a lot this month. I got Tomb Raider. I've got Pacific Rim. Ready Player One.
When are you seeing Ready Player One? I might come up to.
I'll try to catch it that weekend.
All right.
Because I have to do reviews. Oh yeah, about plug. Go to my channel so I can watch me do reviews and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it in the
It's not the end.
description.
It's not the end of the episode yet, Devin.
I'm just plugging it now because that was on my mind.
Okay. Back to anime. There was all.
Live action can be done. It needs a split stuck in it, or your foot stuck in. The director's foot needs to go into the soup to make it taste good.
That makes sense. What he's trying to say is,
Put your foot in it.
Yeah.
Foot in it.
don't let not the producers but the higher ups, the company owners put their foot in and say, hey, we need to mass this to put this out for the biggest market possible. No, just make something good, and the people will come see it. Word of mouth is a strong thing. It can make a movie, great or kill it.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to stop giving it to these people who don't care. Because even if they're like, oh, I really like the how it looks, like Ghost in the Shell. Doesn't matter how pretty you make it look. If your heart and soul isn't into recreating it, putting what the fans want to see and stuff, it's not going to make money.
Yeah.
All right, so back to actual anime.
We'll let Phil have his rant.
Philip ranted about stuff that I don't care about.
Philip ranted about hating something.
Yeah. So
It's amazing.
Did you say what your favorite anime was?
Yeah.
No, I didn't really say.
Is that I know yours is Gurren Lagann.
No.
Garrett, Wyatt.
Gurren Lagann's not in my top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
You hyped that shit up. You
Because-
tried to make me sit down and watch it,
Because
and were
Gurren
pissed off
Lagann,
when I wasn't interested.
Gurren Lagann is in fact a perfect anime. But I
The character actually dies
Yeah.
and stays dead.
But there are animes. Gurren Lagann's probably in like my top 10, top 15, but it doesn't make my top 5.
Okay.
Like I really like
If there's ever a situation where there's giant robots and we both get one, can I be Gurren and you be Logan? I want to be the giant suit and you just be the head.
This sounds like a Pacific Rim situation. Sorry,
But yeah, Dragon Ball Z is my favorite anime of all time.
What?
wow.
Yeah,
Really?
really.
I thought you were
Wyatt?
going to say like one of the Gundam series.
Yeah, because you are a hardcore.
Yeah, I'm
Gundam
hardcore
fan.
Gundam.
There's not
but
any mechs in.
It doesn't matter. I absolutely love Dragon Ball 2, Dragon Ball Z. I absolutely love. I don't know. It's awesome.
Now,
It's-
are you
it's
talking
just-
about Goku versus like this other Saiyans like Vegeta and Raditz?
I'm talking
Not
Kid
Raditz.
Goku all the way
Yeah,
up
he's
to
saying
Buu.
he's saying
Oh,
Dragon
that's a
Ball.
Boo?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The whole entire thing I absolutely love.
Is it a nostalgia thing? Where if like an episode comes on, you can be sitting there on the floor.
I think it's a testosterone thing. just pure testosterone and adrenaline through the whole thing.
You want to sit and scream with Goku as he's
Yeah.
getting ready for the spirit.
Every time he asks me to put my hands up, I do. Gotta help Goku. Gotta help him
Every
brother
time he
out.
asked me to put my hands up, I was like, no, fuck you. I'm not giving you my energy. How dare you?
That's my favorite of all time. But like every other one I like is deeper than that. Cowboy Bebop is definitely my number 2. Cowboy Bebop is phenomenal. If you have not
See,
watched,
Everyone's seen
I
it.
feel ashamed because I've only seen the movie.
I have the full season. Do you want?
Yeah,
I might want to
You want to borrow
that.
it? All right. I'll bring it over next time. But it's it's phenomenal, and it has that maturity that I really like. I like smoking, hot girls, cool rides.
What is this?
Gambling.
Do you think it'll make you cool?
Yeah.
I could be him. Pointing at an anime
Speaking
character.
from an artist's perspective, I love the way those characters are designed. The shadows are done in that show and the movie are great, and I also like the ship stuff. That's really cool too. Sorry, I'm speaking from an artist's perspective.
That's fine.
It's everything about it is a phenomenal design, phenomenal story. American voice acting is,
and that doesn't happen very often.
oh my goodness, it's great. And then
one of the I'm sorry, Wyatt, but one of the reasons why you don't like one of my Full Metal Alchemist is because you don't like the dubbed version. Just go and watch the subtitles.
No. So, like, when Philip tells me to watch something, it's because he really, really likes it, and he bugs me about watching it. It makes me not want to watch it.
It's like Phil's knocking on the door.
Are you watching it? I don't hear you watching it.
I heard some type of explosion. Was that we're doing something? No? Oh, you're watching Fully Cooley. Okay.
Hey, another good anime.
I don't watch them out of spite because Phil pesters me about watching stuff. So that's why I haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist. I haven't watched Ruby. I haven't watched what's the other one? JoJo.
Oh, an Afro Samurai.
Afro Samurai. It gets a 3. My third 0.5 favorite. Like
3.5. Why you only have enough room for 5 animes?
There's 6 animes on my top 5 list. So. because like there's Afro Samurai is a strange anime, because there's so much to like about it, but at the same time there's nothing to like about it. Like,
he just likes it because there for a while, little kids would stop him and be like, "Are you Afro Samurai?"
No, even before that, like I watched it on Cartoon Network when it first aired.
It was on Spike.
It was Adult Swim.
It was on Spike.
Yeah, it was
Oh, Spike. It was Spike. Yeah, it was Spike when it first aired, and I watched it, and it was it hits all of my checkpoints that I like in an anime. It has the cool dude. It has cigarettes,
Hot chicks,
smoking,
gore, hot chicks, robotics in it. It's everything I absolutely love in an anime. It was an engaging story. I enjoyed it. I loved, Ninja as a supporting character and stuff. But
Samuel Jackson at his best.
Yeah, but at the same time, when I think back to it, I can't think about. I can't see anything that was necessarily good in it. It's like, Afro Samurai hardly ever speaks. It's all through Ninja, which is really cool. But
who may or may not exist.
Yeah, who may or may not exist, depending on what version. I've read the manga, I've watched the show, and I've played the game. 3 mostly similar stories, but kind of different, So no one knows what's canon and what's not. But is a lot of action, not a whole lot of depth in that action.
I need this #1 headband.
Yeah. It's super simple. It's just, I need the #1 headband. I have the #2. Anyone can challenge me. Let me kill these guys and move on. So it's in my 3.5.
I get it. That and the soundtrack seems to work really well for it too.
Yeah, soundtrack is phenomenal. I like the Bake Monogatari, or I guess just the Monogatari series.
Monogatari.
Yeah.
Every time. I will always do that.
But yeah, it's so the Monogatari series is not an easy anime to watch. It's one of the best animes I've ever watched. I can't recommend it to anybody. I absolutely can't, because I struggle to watch that anime because it's almost all exposition and color trip. right? It's a visual high you get from it. The art direction is probably the best art direction I've ever seen in anything ever, right? And they just spit exposition at you, and a lot of the stuff is really Japanese culture based. So some of this stuff just goes like way over my head. You know, I don't exactly understand it. But the story is good. It's deep. It's engaging. It is a harem. I'll admit it is a harem. You know, but it doesn't feel like a harem. It is a harem. It fits the definition without exactly being a harem.
It's not overt, but it's not obvious.
Yeah, because like all of his harem are separate. He interacts with all of them separately. You know? You know, and it's, I don't know, it's just it's one of the greatest shows I've ever watched that I can't recommend to anybody. I really like Tiger and Bunny. I suggest Tiger and Bunny to anybody. You guys don't want to watch it, but
no, it's really not bad.
It's the name that throws people off.
Yeah.
Because I suggested it to a friend at work, and he was like, "I don't want to watch that." And I was like, "No, it has nothing to do with tigers or bunnies."
It sounds foo-foo. It's not.
Yeah, even the title. The title is set up to look like a woman's anime or a kid's anime. You know, and
it's so beyond that.
Yeah, because I had seen the title multiple times before I watched it. And like one day it was like full screen and it was like mechs on the front, and I was like, what? Are these robots? So I clicked on it, and like I hate that I can't describe it better, because probably about a quarter of the way in it gets really, really good. It gets suspenseful. It's, you know, it's a suspense that lasts throughout the full series, and it doesn't end the way most animes you would expect to end. You know, it ends exactly how it sets it up to end. I mean, the characters are, the first few episodes, all of the characters seem like they're just your standard superheroes, very shallow, you know. Very shallow, and they are their gimmick. You know, it seems like they are their superpowers. But you know, as the series goes on, you learn about that their superhero personas are just personas. You know, they are not the superhero that they
appear to be in public.
Yeah, they're actual human beings with emotions and drives and stuff like that. And like, oh, it hit me. Like, the show hit me in my feels, you know? It hit me in my feels.
I think that's the good thing about anime, because anime can do that for you. They can start out being really silly and work into something mature. It shows growth within the show, growth within the writing.
So I forgot to mention one that I really liked, and people shit on this anime all the time. It's School Days. School Days is the one, it's kind of like a harem where the dude has like the girlfriends and like
oh
yeah people hate this anime because of the ending. I really like the ending, because like where you're talking about harems, like there's no consequence for these guys having all of these women, but like School Days, like he's messing around with all these girls and whatever, and there's consequences to his actions. Like this anime like addresses the girl's feelings. Like he's over here messing around and stuff, and like one of them ain't having it. And she loses her shit and kills him, chopping off his head.
Seriously, that's what I like about anime, is that you can dive into all these different types of things. Part of me wishes American cartooning would do something like that, but that would
American cartoons are for children.
But that would take away from what makes anime itself special.
Yeah.
Because if everybody's doing it.
Well, I mean, the Airbender did it.
Airbender did do it, and it did work. It got into themes of, you know, being lost and alone, being the last of your kind, and that's great. I'm glad. That's why we enjoy that show the way we do. But that's one of those shows that comes once every blue moon.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just getting more something for the babies that are What is it called? Edutainment.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
I don't care for those.
Like
It's
Dora
like,
the Explorer.
yeah, I hate that stuff so much. It's like, but that's because we grew up in the 90s where our cartoons were a mix of, we had our anime, but we also had, I'm going to always reference Batman animated series because that touched on darker themes that
It looked
dark.
really good.
It didn't cater to the fact that we were children. Anime doesn't cater to the fact that you're a child. If you're not careful, you'll come across the wrong type of stuff. You have a 7-year-old sit and watch something like Sekirei.
Why do you keep doing that?
I don't know. Sekurei's in my mind right now.
Oh, see, you want to watch it for the plot now.
Yeah. All the
floppy-
jiggly plot.
Don't get me wrong, I love Sekirei. But yeah, it doesn't cater to the fact that you're a child. Here in America, our cartoons do that. I want our cartoons to grow past that, but then we would lose sight of what makes anime itself special.
Yeah. Yeah, the last anime I want to talk about is Gundam, Iron Bladed Orphans.
He called me while I was at work.
No, hold on. You called me on your break.
Was that, well, okay, I called him on, or you had texted me something
Yeah, I texted
ominous, and I was like, what? So, like, I called him while I was on my break, and he lost his shit. He was, like, on the verge of tears, but he didn't want to admit that he was on the verge of tears. And I was just like, you're talking about Gundam? I thought something serious had happened.
It was serious, babe. It was serious. They did. My niggas dirty.
One of my coworkers, like was walking by me while I was talking to you. I was like, really? You're talking about Gundam? I thought something was wrong. And she just kind of, like, looked at me.
I know, but Iron Bladed Orphans, like,
Apparently, it got you all in the feels.
no, it does, because, like, all right, so Iron Bladed Orphans, I know it's a pretty polarizing in the Gundam community. I'm part of a Gundam group, and it's like split down the middle. Half the people absolutely think it's phenomenal, the other half absolutely hates it, and it's about child soldiers, right? And it's about, you know, basically child soldiers coming into basically freedom, but they have nothing except for each other. So basically they have to grow. You watch as they grow into their own people while still struggling being child soldiers. You know, that's what they are. That's what they know. Most of them can't even read, you know, and they end up, you know, getting involved in some, you know, different organizations and stuff like that to help them, you know, really, you know, grow as a, you know, is their family, you know, grow as a company and grow as a family and stuff. And all the companies they're dealing with are adults, you know, they're adults who, you know, some of these companies have, you know, potentially used child soldiers themselves, you know, and to them they're cannon fodder, you know. But, you know, these kids are, you know, growing up, they're doing things on their own, and they're giving them a chance because they see, you know, potential in them and stuff. And I mean, I don't want to.
That's heavy for a cartoon.
Yeah, it's super heavy, and
So he would
I
call me.
I don't want to
He'd
give
be
too
like,
much away.
well, I don't know any
Yeah.
names, so he'd be like, oh, they did my dude dirty, and then like, oh, he was doing this, and then now he's dead,
Yeah.
and then like, oh, and now she's dead.
Because,
And then
yeah, because they kill off these kids. You know, they're kids, and a lot of them are visibly, you know,
Children?
visibly children. I'm not talking most anime like I'm 13 years old, but you're rocking double D's and got a big old booty and wearing a short skirt. You know, like no, these
Are visibly kids.
are visibly kids. I mean, some of them are fucking ripped, you know, because they're child soldiers, but they're
Men, so.
yeah, they have the proportions of kids. They look like kids. They act like kids.
So when
know?
you identify with them as a kid, and when something really bad happens to them,
Yeah,
you feel that.
Yeah,
Because
and
no one wants to see something bad happen to a kid.
and they spend the time building up these characters and getting you invested into these characters, offing them. And some of them are often like the worst ways. I'm not talking, anime like someone shot a laser beam through them. I'm like at one point there's a drive-by.
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah. And this whole freaking time, right? There's one point. There's one ship, one company to get involved with. The captain is a man, and everybody on his ship is either his wife or his kid.
Oh.
It's a harem ship, right? So I was convinced, not even really thinking about it. I thought this was a dude anime, made by a dude because it goes through the coming of age of men. Turns out it was written by a woman. I couldn't believe it. Like I was. Is this
it's like, but with these deeper themes, of course, it was written by a woman.
But I'm like, dang, I need more women to be in the anime industry because this anime threw me on a trip. Like
he was emotional, guys. Like y'all don't even know these phone calls. I was like, he's talking about an anime. I have to go to work. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry that you're upset.
But that's also a good thing if a cartoon can put you in the feels like that. That's not a bad thing.
It didn't make me cry though. Only 2 animes have ever made me cry.
Cowboy Bebop.
No.
What?
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop.
How dare you lie to me?
No, Cowboy Bebop didn't make me cry. It was the 2 animes that have ever made me cry were Gurren Lagann and One Piece.
One Piece?
Yeah. Were you crying because it's still not over?
Are you crying because it's still going?
No, because and it might have just been because I was marathoning. It put me more invested in these characters than I really should have. But I don't know. I had gone through a few hundred episodes, and there's some spoilers.
Just a few hundred.
This is so far into the middle of One Piece. Like if you haven't gotten this far, you're just not going to make it.
You're not going to watch the rest of it.
You're not going to watch One Piece. I'm sorry. Like there's too many episodes. But it's Usopp and Luffy, right? So their ship ends up getting broken. They end up in a on this island trying to find someone to fix their ship, right? Well, Usopp has always been the person who fixed the ship, and it's his ship, And so basically, they have to retire the ship, and they get a brand new one. And Usopp's like pissed off, you can't just leave our ship. This is our ship. This is our friend, right? And so Luffy's like, no, we gotta go. This is our friend, and we've done all we could. We couldn't save it, and they end up getting in a fight, and like a fist fight. So this is Usopp, the weakest character, versus Luffy, the strongest character, and Luffy doesn't want to fight Usopp, but Usopp he wants to throw them hands, knowing he can't, knowing he can't win, and Usopp's trying his best, and he's just getting his ass beat. And oh man, watching these 2 best friends like fight.
The other thing that made him cry was also about 2 best friends.
It was also about 2 best friends. It's Gurren Lagann. Can I?
Wait, did you cry about my Lion April?
Yes. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Oh, it did make you cry.
3 animes. There are only 3 animes ever that made me cry.
So what you're saying is you don't want to lose your best friend.
Yeah. But my Lion April wasn't about best friends.
Are you sure?
I guess it was.
Well, he was in love with her, but she was just friends with him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
My Lion April, I don't recommend to anybody. I can't recommend to a single person. It will make you cry like a little bitch.
It's like Pan's Labyrinth for me. I watched Pan's Labyrinth one time, and I cried so damn hard. It's like watching Logan again. I can't do it. I will never.
Anyway,
Never do that.
Gurren Lagann is fine.
Gurren Lagann's fine?
It's past its point.
All
if you're
right.
gonna watch it, you're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I was late to the party.
Yeah. So what was it, like episode 8 or something like that?
8.
I think it was like sooner into the series because I didn't finish Gurren Lagann, but I know what episode you're talking about.
Yeah. So it was probably like
it wasn't sooner, I don't think.
8 or
Maybe.
was it
It doesn't matter.
within the single digits.
Yeah. Anyway, so they set up this character to be the main character, and I like the
Kamina.
Yeah, I like the machiste, right? Those are characters I like. I like the strong characters. They're confident.
They're
in
full of
themselves.
bravado and all this.
Yeah. So they set him up to be the main character, right? And then who's the real main character is set up as a side character, right? A supporting character, who we're really seeing the main character through the side character's eyes. So we're going, and they set up a whole love interest thing and everything, and there's like tension between like the two characters because of the love interest, right? And so basically, things go on, and Kamina, main character, dies, right? It's an anime, right? I'm not concerned. I prepared myself for that. I watched Dragon Ball Z.
What he thinks is going to happen is that the character's going to come back all dressed in black, shrouded in mystery. And who is this mystery man?
like I'm not even like expecting that. I'm expecting him to pull through, right? I'm expecting
power of virginity and friendship.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he had the power of virginity.
That's why he stayed in.
Yeah. But so like the battle's over, and he's sitting there lifeless, right? And so I'm like, all right, so he's injured, right? Because he was yelling. This was he's pumping up the side character,
the actual main character.
Yeah, the actual main character. He's pumping him up, trying to get him to believe in his power of friendship and virginity, and it works, and they win the battle, and he's sitting there, right? And I'm like, all right, they're going to do the anime thing where someone touches them, he's going to be like, ow, that hurts, right? He stays there, right? And I'm like, what? What's going on?
Wasn't there an explosion that killed him?
Yeah.
Something. I don't remember.
I think there was an explosion.
Maybe it was an explosion. Maybe he got stabbed. No, he didn't get stabbed. Maybe
his something exploded. I know that much.
Anyway, so he's laying there, and the character starts screaming. Right? He's laying there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this guy actually dead? Like, it starts raining. We see that he's dead. The characters are crying. I'm like, fuck, they killed our main character. What's going on?
See, he tried to sit me down to watch this, and I didn't see it as that guy being the main character. I knew that the kid was the main character.
Yeah, it's a bit obvious that Simeon
it's obvious that the
his name
kid
Simeon
was
or
supposed to be the main character. I didn't see the other guy as the main character. He was support for the kid.
I saw him as being the main character, and we were following along.
That's not
Simeon.
how I saw it.
Is his name Simeon?
Yeah, Simeon.
Okay.
That's his name. Yeah.
It just throws me off.
It's Simon.
Oh, Simon?
Simon?
It was Simon, but they pronounced
Okay.
it.
Oh, yeah. Simeon in Japanese.
Okay.
Simon in
English.
Yeah. But yeah.
Then he gets replaced by a character the same age as Simeon.
Oh yeah,
the love interest for him.
Yeah.
The
But
13-year-old that
even
looks like a...
Yeah. But like even when they show, when the show first opens up, it's Kamina's jacket, and they're on this huge battleship, and he has Kamina's glasses, and it looks like Kamina, right?
But they're in space.
Yeah, but they're in space, and he looks a little bit different. He doesn't look like Simon. He looks like an older Kamina, right? So I'm sitting here like, oh man, this is going to get epic, So when they open up and we see Kamina, I'm like, okay, this is a show we're following Kamina through another character who we're going to see growth and stuff through. I was not expecting them to build up a brotherly relationship, kill off the brother, and then move forward.
Anime is great for the feels.
It's okay, babe. I'll be your brother.
You'll be my
I'll
brother.
be your brother. I won't leave you.
Let me
Thank
see
you,
you
only
grit
child.
those teeth.
That could get weird, right?
Never say that to my sister ever again.
Notes.
Yeah.
I don't remember what you said.
I said Death Note, and I want Pokemon to be an anime.
Oh, okay. How long were we at? Too long?
An hour and 33 minutes.
Ooh, we went long, like in the beginning stages of long.
It's all right. This is anime, so
it was worth it.
We had to rant.
Yeah.
And rave.
Yeah, because Wyatt and Phil, Wyatt's over here getting caught up in his feelings.
I'm over here being angry at something.
But it's all
Man,
right.
there was a live action adaptation of JoJo as well that I didn't watch because of the exact same thing.
wow.
Yeah.
Of the exact
That seems like
same.
it'll be horrible.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like, because I saw the trailer for the live action adaptation of Tokyo Ghoul and it looked good. But that's just me. I'm the only one who's watched Tokyo Ghoul.
I know
watched
they're making.
Parasite was good.
Yeah,
You
Parasite
should
was
watch
good.
Parasite. You'll like it.
Oh, and Kakiguri. Oh, Kakiguri doesn't hit all of my notes. There's no cool guy or cigarettes, but there's gambling and hot girls and.
What's the one that we just watched with the mix? You have sex, but it's not really sex.
Darling in the Franxx.
Oh yeah.
Darling in the Franxx is unique.
Okay, we'll talk about that after. let's wrap this up.
All right.
But yeah, it was a good time. It's interesting to see. I don't know how many things we name dropped over the course of this
Yeah,
episode.
we didn't even talk about a bunch of stuff. Like a
Yeah.
bunch of really good stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
anime's
there's
cool.
so many. Good
There's-
things.
I don't know.
there's so many.
I
But
don't know. Anime's pretty cool.
Shut up. Stop. Just stop right now. Stop.
I mean, but it is. But at the end of the day,
You stop that.
at the end of the day, anime brings us something that you don't expect from American cartooning. It brings a depth and
It brings story. An overarching story.
yes, even an overarching story. It's more mature. I mean, as we grow older, and boobs. That's the most important part.
Boobs.
Boobs. And if you've never seen a snake
No.
come out of a woman's vagina, it's insane.
So what you're saying is that we should all be watching anime for the plot.
Yes.
Oh, you know what else has a really good plot?
What?
Hentai.
we didn't
Well,
even touch hentai.
touch hentai.
We're not touching hentai.
I want to touch hentai.
Of course you do. Our fucking logo is an octopus.
See, she's not joking though, because we're going through one with a plot.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent. Pretty decent.
Anyway,
Anyway.
we're not going into hentai because that's another discussion for another day.
But hentai is pretty cool. Don't let anyone shame you for liking hentai.
No.
Samuel L. Jackson likes hentai.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson likes it. It must be cool.
Mm.
I enjoy these motherfucking tentacles.
On this motherfucking plane.
Faps motherfuckerly.
Either way, it's been a good time. Again, I am DevTheDoc.
I'm Janine.
I'm Wyatt.
I'm Phil.
And before we get going, this next weekend, March the 10th, if you're in Dallas, go to the Dallas Public Library. There's a free event. It's Women of WonderCon. We're celebrating women in the creative industries. I'm going to be selling some arts there. It's going to be a fun time.
Celebrate that nerddom. That's what I enjoy.
Celebrate.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't
do
do that. Ever.
The reason why I stopped is because I completely forgot the words.
The Cool in the Gang song? Celebrate good time?
Yeah.
Come on.
See, you got no soul, kid.
No, I don't.
Okay, anybody want to plug? Janine.
That's what I just did. I
What?
was
That's
telling
what-
people to come to Women of WonderCon because it's going to
What?
be awesome.
Plug.
Lots of ladies.
I'll come to Women of WonderCon. I'll be there too.
He will be the only guy there.
You'll be the
yeah.
only person.
I'm her booth babe.
He's
So-
my booth babe.
Telling you, you should put him out there in a bikini.
For some reason, people get the impression that men aren't allowed to go. That's not the case. It's just
You
you
should.
can come and celebrate all the amazing women.
I won't be selling my particular thing. She'll be selling
Because
customs.
it's
Customs
about-
Grunt Bear.
Because it's
but-
about the ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should put Wyatt out there in a bikini.
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't
I might
think you
do
guys
the.
are aware of how hairy Wyatt is.
That's sexy though.
Some women do find that sexy. It's like, oh my god, he has hair there.
I can imagine him in like the One Piece and like everything just pops. Just like a forest.
It's the mini fro. We went down a very bad road. Phil, do you want to plug? We'll come back to Phil. If you want to catch me, because Phil's dying.
I am.
If you want to catch me, I'm on YouTube as DevTheDoc. I do longer reviews there, but I'm also on Stardust, where I do short little 30-second reviews for things. At also DevTheDoc. I'm on Instagram too, DevTheDoc12. And I don't know why I keep pointing at my dick. I gotta quit doing that.
Yeah, you do.
It's bad. Phil, plug.
If you want to find anything that I've done, go to Dinopolis 93. I think it's 93. Dinopolis at Yahoo. Fuck.
What are you on?
What?
Are you on AOL? Wait. What just happened?
I was attacked by my own stand.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Christ almighty.
Phil, what are you on?
I'm on YouTube.
Links will be in the description below.
Below. Me.
Thanks again, guys, for sticking around this long, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Adios.